All right, we're back with some more defensive use of a firearm incidents from the last week. Let's start in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where we have a 77-year-old male victim, and this looks like this is a home invasion. Ann Arbor police are searching for a man who broke into a home Wednesday but ran off after the 77-year-old owner fired a gun at him. Officers were called at around 6 p.m. to a home on the 1800 block of Arbordale Street near Stadium in Pauline. According to preliminary investigations, a male suspect forced his way into the house through the kitchen window while the owner was home. The victim told officers that he was in his bedroom when he heard what he thought was someone trying to open a screen door. He went in the kitchen where he saw the strange man standing in his kitchen. Police said the homeowner produced a handgun and fired a single shot at the suspect. The round didn't strike the suspect, who jumped out the kitchen window and ran. The homeowner told officers he did not know the suspect and described him as a male in his late 20s with a thin build, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, and wearing a gray sweatshirt. So this elderly guy pulls out a gun and shoots at this. We do not know the race of this home invader, because all they tell us is he's in his 20s with a thin build, about 5 foot 10 inches tall, and wearing a gray sweatshirt. So we wonder who did that. But anyway, the old dude took him out. Good for him. And let's go on to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where we have a female victim who's 27 years old and a male suspect who's 22 years old. And the suspect was injured. This looks like a road rage incident of some sort. Man uses a crowbar to smash the window. Okay. A woman shot a man who smashed her car window with a crowbar during a road rage incident in Philadelphia. The 22-year-old man was involved in a road rage incident with a 27-year-old woman at the intersection of 30th and Chestnut around 5:30 p.m. According to investigators, during the incident, the 22-year-old man pulled out a crowbar and smashed the woman's passenger side window. The woman, who is legally armed, pulled out a gun while inside her car and opened fire, shooting the man at least once in the groin. Nice shot. Investigators said that the woman then drove to a family member's house and called the police. She was not injured during the incident and is cooperating. The 22-year-old man also went back into his car and drove several blocks before falling out of his vehicle. Responding officers took him to the hospital, where he was placed in critical condition. Another woman who was a passenger in his car fled the scene on foot. No arrests have been made in connection to the incident. So he's trying to carjack a car, or he's in a road rage incident. I don't think he was trying to take the car. He just got mad and decided to bust up the window. And he gets shot. And whoever he was with, the girl that he was with, doesn't even bother to try and take him to the hospital. She just gets out and runs. She just flees. She doesn't want to get in trouble, so she just leaves the guy to his. I mean, the kid's lucky the police showed up to take him to the hospital, or he probably wouldn't have made it. Okay, so let's go on to Fort Worth, Texas. We got a female victim. Wow, another female. Unharmed, and our suspect is an adult male, and this looks like another home invasion. On Thursday, May 25th at 4:23 p.m., Fort Worth police officers were dispatched to the 700 block of Bassett Lock Drive in reference to a home invasion involving a shooting. Fort Worth Fire Department and MedStar personnel also responded. Upon arrival, officers located the alleged intruder, an adult male who was shot at least twice. The man was pronounced deceased at the scene. Okay, dispatched information indicated a woman shot the intruder. So that's all we got. So a guy breaks into this woman's house, and she pulls out a gun and she shoots him. And this is how we have to, resolve these situations these days, because all this kind of stuff is far too common. All right, let's move on to Houston, Texas, where we got an adult male who was unharmed. That's our victim. And an adult suspect who was killed. And deputies say a man came inside the smoke shop and started attacking an employee who was at the business by himself. The employee then grabbed a stick to fight back and ran outside to the parking lot of an ER center next door. Surveillance video shows the intruder dressed in black following the employee who has the stick in his hand. Deputies say the suspect caught up to the man, took the stick, and started beating the employee with it. That's when the employee pulled out a handgun and shot the intruder multiple times. The alleged intruder was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Deputies said the employee suffered multiple injuries during the assault, including a broken hand. Investigators said the intruder has gotten a citation for trespassing at the smoke shop in the past, but employees hadn't seen him in 6 or 7 months. The manager said the suspect gained entry, this time by sneaking in behind another customer. She believes the intruder was on a suicide mission. She said he knew the employee carried a gun and was completely uninterested in money or products from the store. In fact, she said the employee offered the man both to get him to go away, but it didn't work. At this point, deputies said no charges are expected to be filed against the employee, but the case will be reviewed by a grand jury. So this guy that this store owner knows and the worker at this store knows from past incidents comes in what they determine a suicide mission. And that's kind of that happens, you hear about the suicide by cop. This is the first time I've heard about somebody going into a business that they know an employee has a gun and literally beating the employee till the employee shoots them. And that's kind of a bad way. If you want to commit suicide, go ahead and commit suicide yourself. Don't force some employee at some place to have to kill you and have to live with that for the rest of their lives just because you wanted to die. You can get yourself, you can get yourself a gun and kill yourself. You can throw yourself off a bridge. You can do whatever you want, but that's really low expecting this employee. It's bad enough when they make police do it, but at least police are somewhat trained for stuff like that. This employee at the store is not, and he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life, that vision in his head of him killing some guy. All right, let's move on to Gastonia, North Carolina. We got an adult male who is unharmed. Wow, another suspect killed. This is 50-year-old Frankie Carl Jones. He's our suspect, and he was killed in this incident. A man is dead after he reportedly tried to break into a Gastonia home. According to police, Frankie Carl Jones of Charlotte was outside a home in the 2900 block of Crescent Lane when he was shot and killed. A 911 call came into Gaston County Communications around 10:45 p.m. Thursday. The caller said a man was trying to break into the home and another person inside the home fired shots. Responding officers found Jones outside the home near the front door suffering from at least one gunshot wound. Jones was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Gastonia police spokesman said the preliminary investigation indicates Jones arrived at the home armed with a handgun, confronted a man at the front door, and was then shot by him. Police are still trying to determine if Jones knew the man who came to the door or someone else inside the home. So this guy shows up at the door with a gun and ends up getting shot. They say he was trying to break in, but somebody met him at the door. This one sounds a little like it could be multiple different scenarios. There's not enough information here to really go on too much. I mean, they confronted him at the door. He's trying to break in. If you didn't know him, he's trying to break in. Do you open the door and shoot him? I don't know. Maybe you would. I mean, he's got a gun and he's trying to come into your door is what the story is. Maybe you just open the door, fire a few off on him, and then close the door back up. I don't know. That one sounds a little weird. Let's move on to Colorado Springs, Colorado, where we have an adult female named Lisa Graffite. She was unharmed, and our suspect is a male, and he was injured, and we got another home invasion. Colorado Springs, Colorado police are searching for 3 suspects in an Eastside Colorado Springs home invasion Thursday night. Investigators believe one of the suspects might be injured. Officers with Colorado Springs Police Department were sent to a quiet old neighborhood for a home invasion Thursday at 11:30 p.m. Okay, this is a quiet old neighborhood. The homeowner, Bob Graffite, said his daughter let their dog out late Thursday night while he was asleep. 3 masked suspects entered the home through an open back door while the daughter was out with the dog. Graffite said 2 suspects went downstairs to the basement while the other, with a sawed-off shotgun, went to the bedroom. When his daughter, Lisa, realized people were in the home, she grabbed a gun. Graffiti said he was awakened by his daughter telling the suspect with the shotgun to get out or she will shoot him. When the suspect ran, Lisa shot him in the shoulder, according to Graffiti. All three suspects left the house and ran down the street where the police say they left in a vehicle. So you have this girl that they don't say how old she is, but assuming she's at least a teenage daughter, she goes outside with the dog, comes in, finds people in her house. She pulls out a gun, threatens them, and they leave. She ends up shooting the one guy in the shoulder. But again, this is another thing. I mean, we don't know how old this girl is. But assuming if she's living with her parents, or at least living with her father, she's under 25. She's got a lot of years left to live with this home invasion. And that kind of stuff, it stays with you. It's not something that you go through and it just goes away. You go through it and it sticks with you for a long time. And she's got a long time left of her life to be afraid of being in her own house. Or maybe it made her stronger. Maybe the fact that she had the gun and used it will make her stronger in that situation. I don't know, but I still think the mental anguish that you go through over something like that is, I don't know, it stays with you. So now we're going to go on to Charleroi, Pennsylvania, where we've got a male unharmed, and our suspect, another home invasion, and the suspect in the home invasion is, of course, a male. Regional police are investigating a Thursday morning shooting in which a borough business owner shot an intruder. Washington County District Attorney Jason Walsh said the incident occurred shortly after 9 a.m. at the Pet Boutique. Walsh said the owner of the store was opening for the day when he heard a commotion upstairs. The owner went upstairs to investigate, encountered an unknown male, and shot him. He went back to check if there was another individual, obviously up there without permission. Walsh did not identify the business owner or intruder. The intruder was flown to the Pittsburgh hospital for treatment. His injuries and condition were not immediately available. That's about all we got here on this one. According to Walsh, Charleroi police continue to investigate the incident and no charges have been filed. Well, so the guy's opening his business for the day, finds someone in the upstairs and goes up there and shoots him. What do they expect him to do? So that's all I got for you today on the self-defense, but we'll be back with more of these. I'm going to try and cover as many of these as I can each week. They're very important for people to see because there was a time that I did, last summer I did a video on when defensive use was high, at its highest. I believe it was 2017. I should have looked it up before I started this video, but when defensive use was at its highest, and I believe it was 2017, homicides were at their lowest. And this going back the last 10 years. Maybe it was 2015. I'm going to look this up. When homicides were, they were super high. I did a video on it, and I'm going to pull this up so I can tell you the exact thing. Defensive use 13, hang on. Okay, right here. It was 2017. If you go back and you look at the homicide numbers, homicides were lower around 2017, and the defensive use was considerably higher. The defensive use is going down. It's going down year after year after year, it's going down. And that year, 2017, the defensive use was 2,118 incidents. 2,118. And last year, we had 1,198. 1,198 in 2022. And in 2017, when it was good, it was 2,118. Literally almost 1,000 less. And our homicides are considerably higher. Now, I'm not saying there's a direct correlation there. I'm not saying that defensive use is the direct cause of there being less homicides. But there are less homicides when more people have guns. because people that are out killing other people aren't doing as much when they think they're going to get shot back. Personal opinion, just numbers that I saw that they match up, and in my mind, the higher the defensive use is, it can't hurt. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.